What about the fact that Sufis are blamed for being people of bid'ah? So, for example, Hadhra, um, whirling dervishes, dancing. How does that get introduced into our religion?
You know, look, first of all, the issue of bid'ah, it's something that needs definitions, because I have a book that's about 300 pages on just the issue of what is bid'ah, or what constitutes bid'ah, the definitions, because there are many definitions, the definitions, the implications, and the applications of uh, of uh, of what bid'ah is. So that first we need to understand. But we all agree, I think everybody agrees, that a bid'ah is something that contravenes the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. Contravenes means you have a direct and clear command that you contravene it. So anyone who contravenes the Quran and the authentic prophetic Sunnah, that's by definition a malicious bid'ah that must be corrected, and the person must be educated. So that is important. Now, what some Sufis do, we may all agree and disagree. We're talking about the concept of tazkiyah and ihsan. The practice of people could be right, could be wrong. Some people agree, some Sufis agree with what you just mentioned, Hadhra, and some Sufis, they think it's actually a bid'ah, that they don't practice it, period. And those who practice it, let's say, do not think that it is wajib or fard, nor do they think that it is mandub or sunnah, nor do they think it's haram, nor do they think it's makruh or disliked. They think it's among the mubah, the permissible, neutrally permissible. So they use it as a neutrally permissible thing. Um, as far as the moves itself, when people move in dhikr, I mean, people move in different things. People move when the Sahaba used to move when they train with the swords and the spears, and the Abyssinians, the Africans, were doing their dance in the prophetic masjid, uh, in witnessing of the Prophet ﷺ in the authentic view. The Prophet ﷺ also in the authentic hadith permitted the Jariyah to actually beat the drum in his presence and chant. And it's one thing to make your mizaj. And mizaj, I think, personal, habitual liking. I don't know how to translate it in English. Your mizaj shakhsi, you cannot make your mizaj a shar'i rule. A Shari'i rule is a Shari'i rule that's based on the Shari'i rule is one of five: either fard or wajib, sunnah or nadb, haram or makruh, dislike. And those have all texts substantiating them from the Quran and Sunnah. There's the fifth category, which is mubah. There's no text that say you should or you must, and there's no text that say you should not or you must not. Then we can come, you mentioned the dervish and all this. All right. You have, for example, what people do by habit, cultures. The men dancing, what we call in the land of Sham, the Levant, let's say, dabka, where men stand together in weddings or in things, and they actually do some moves together. In Najd, in Saudi Arabia, we have something called al-arda al-najdiya. You see them standing with the swords and dancing like this, and all that. And people do this. Is urf wa ada. This is a urf issue. And there's no contravening of any text that says you cannot do that. Now, why do some Sufis who do dhikr, let's say, or while they're chanting, they move and they lean right and left? Their objective is, what they say is, to occupy their mind and heart with the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, and try to sort of experience the rahmah of Allah without being so conscious of themselves and who they are. And they don't really mean to dance necessarily, and they don't mean to whirl necessarily from the initial perspective. These are moves that in their experiential taste or practice, it led them to be detached from their current, to led them to trance. So they're detached from the current environment that they are. Now you can say, I don't like it, especially that there's no dalil that says you should do it, or you can do it. But equally so, there is no dalil that says you cannot do it.
Yeah.
And therefore, you say, I don't like it. You know what? That's not for me. No doubt, that's fine, and that's good. ذكر الله على السجية هو الأصل. There's no takalluf in dhikr. That's the beauty. And I always say, leave the matter of dhikr and the experience of dhikr to al-hal, to the state, and don't do tartib and do that before. Obviously, the majalis of dhikrullah azza wa jal, yani when you try to come and remember Allah and remember His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it should not be like the majalis of the fusaq or the deviants, and where you have all kinds of things mixed up together, and all that, and that's important.
Thank you.
There's a hadith, if I may add to that.
Mhm.
I think that most Sufis like and practice, and that is Hadith Ibn Hibban narrated in his Sahih. Ahmad also narrated it, but because Ibn Hibban narrated in his Sahih, he considered Sahih. And the Hadith on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, where the Prophet ﷺ allegedly says, I say allegedly because I view the Hadith as weak, but Ibn Hibban, the Imam, views it as Sahih. So, but anyway, the Sufis practice it. أكثروا ذكر الله حتى يقولوا مجنون. Keep remembering Allah Azza wa Jal until people say you're majnoon, you're insane, right? So this is what they believe in. I personally, I don't like the jumping, the dancing, the my mizaj. I don't like the daf. I don't like the drum. I don't like the flute in general.